Tea with Tutu. On today's episode of the show, I have with me a very beautiful lady in the studio. She's my friend. We go way back. Like way back, I mean 10 years, 11 years. Yeah. So introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Sisi, for having me on this show. I'm super excited. And then you've been doing something, so many amazing stuff. And thank you for having me. My name is Ifelo Alabi. I work as a researcher. And then I also am into community development projects. I run an NGO, that's a Save the Women and the Girls Initiative.
Yeah, I know about that.
Basically supports every woman and girl's child's dream. And so many other things that I do, entrepreneur and all the good stuff.
Wow. We have a whole package in the studio.
I know, right?
So, guys, we have something to discuss today. It's conversant in families with plenty children. And it's our topic of discourse will be siblings rivalry. If you are fortunate to be in the family of, let's say, 3, 4, 5, that rivalry tends to play out in the family. So, if I'll be asking you, you are from a family of
3.
Of 3. So, have you ever find yourself in a situation whereby this siblings rivalry came to play in your family?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think almost every family kind of have that at one point or the other, jealousy, rivalry, and it varies. So let's say it has like different sides to it. For example, if you're the firstborn, every other siblings kind of get jealous that you have lots of privileges. Like when it comes to sharing things at home, you get to have the biggest share, that kind of thing. And then if you happen to be the lastborn, the elder siblings get to be jealous because you kind of you're pampered, yes. And then basic things things about you easily slide. Then another side of it is when it comes to gender specificity. So if you are the only male, the other female gets to be angry like, oh, you're not doing the house chores, you're only sitting down. And then if you're the only female, it kind of happens. I think the only one I played was because I happens to be the last born. So I always feel like they always give me too much work. If I wash plate, if I sweep the floor, so I think that was just the I know when it comes to rivalry there are levels to it, there are degrees to it. But I mean the basic, I don't want to do too much chores, that's what I experienced. But if we have had situations, I've had people discuss it and I've read it. Sibling rivalry is real, can get so complicated to the extent that people want the life of the other party executed. But I just pray we don't get to that level though.
Amen. I pray
I pray too.
So, I feel in siblings rivalry, parents do have a role to play.
Sure.
And I want to say they contribute mostly to it, to how well they're able to manage it. So how do you feel parents can manage it when that thing is coming?
Alright, so when you talk about the perspective of parents, because parents basically they start a family, and then I feel like every mom or to every child there's a story. That kind of thing. For example, you have situation that people have been trusting God for a fruit of the womb, and maybe after a specific period of time you eventually had that child. There's a way you pamper such a child because it's like your testimony. So another part of it is that maybe you want to have a male child or you want to have a female child, you eventually have it. Or let's say when you had that baby, you got jobs, you had good things coming to you. So and that could, unintentionally kind of, make you begin to divert so much love to that child. So I know when you bring parents together and they're like, we're advised don't have favorite child, but it's so difficult. The child that obeys you, normally you want to love such a child, and the child that is always bringing the good grades to school from school, you want to love that child, and that child that gives you right? That child, but parent contribute to it. I feel like parent contribution to it is, let's really be real, it can be unintentional. it can be unintentional. But one thing parent has to do is the moment one of the children can spot and say, "Mom, I think you're doing something wrong. I think you should adjust." Because until you position yourself before a mirror, you cannot exactly see how you look every time. Like, I am seeing you better than you're seeing yourself. You're looking at me now, and you notice so many things about me that I have noticed of myself. So the moment somebody has, as a parent, as a parent, the moment someone, it could be your spouse, it could be another person in the family, it could be one of your children, the moment you are being called, like, to a particular action of favoritism, I think it's such good, the good action that is expected from that parent is to adjust. So if parents can be sincere to adjust when they are caught in such web, I think such things can be nipped in the bud before it grew up to be something you cannot control.
Yeah, definitely. I want to cite an example. I think that happened when I was young. I was a little bit stubborn.
All right.
So my mom to have this habit then of, why can't you be like your sister? Your sister is so quiet, like she doesn't give me trouble. You are this, you are headstrong. So I don't really count it. But it got to a point it was becoming too much. I remember clearly I had to sit down and I was like, "Mommy, stop comparing me with Auntie Tunu again. She's her own person, I'm my own person. If you are the same person, everything will be boring. You will not even enjoy me." So I think that was when she kind of
adjusted.
She adjusted because she felt she was doing a good thing. She didn't
by trying to motivate you to be like another person. But then it was
bringing another thing that was like, is she the only one? So I think it was carefully nipped in the bud. So if, let's say, not all people have the opportunity of calling their parents to order or correcting them. So, and that effect can have a negative effect. That thing can have a negative effect. Whereby a child tends to feel less
inclusive.
Compared to his or her siblings. Okay, is he the only one that can do this thing? Me, I'm not good enough. How do you feel a child can cope?
Well, a child being cope, it's a long thing. One thing is that when we were all growing up, like you said, thank God you had a good relationship with your parents and you're able to resolve it. But I feel like such child will still need to, because if you speak with somebody external, like some of the issues that we have young people face today is because of they don't have their parent as their first contact. So if that situation happened that the parent or such a child is not privileged to walk up to the parent and express how he or she feels, then there is danger, in the sense that the moment you go, the child cannot address the parents, and you happen to go and speak with a third party, and the way a third party will feel like, oh, that's good, I think you should do something. The child might not be fortunate to meet a godly person. So I still feel that it's two-way thing, and the way is that why do I say two-way thing? The first way is that the parent has to cultivate a healthy relationship with their children, and then the children too must also express out. They must be willing to express how they feel, per time. Because if you don't express how you feel, I have come to understand that there's some things that when we were growing up, you were absorbing. It's not get to a point that you don't even know that that thing has germinated. It's a seed. This life works. When for example, if you say sweet words to your children, if you adore your children, you are sowing a seed of love. So when such a child goes out and is showing love to people, you cannot blame the person. So I feel like parents should please. I know, you want your child to behave in this kind of way, but they should please create a good relationship with their children. And I feel like one fundamental truth is that accept your child.
No child.
The same. Yes, no child is the same. And be contented with what God has given to you. You see, some people they'll start. I think when I was young too, I faced such a thing. Like I had to correct that though. My mom would say,